So who the hell are you?
and what are you doing here?
What are you doing?
I'm Will Robertson. I'm a producer, engineer, arranger, composer, songwriter, and I'm a multi-instrumentalist as well. I play guitar, bass, keys, banjo, mandolin, a number of other things. Anything with strings and frets on it, I can probably figure it out. And I grew up playing in both rock bands and orchestras, and singing in choirs and playing folk music at coffee houses. And so I think that sort of depth of experience is something that I really draw on a lot when I'm working with musicians and artists to help give me a wider perspective.
Well, what I think is maybe, you have a lot of skills. Obviously, you're a killer instrumentalist on a ridiculously unfair number of instruments and also really great at the production and engineering. But what I think is maybe most important is that you're a good hang.
When I'm first working with an artist, the thing that I'm most trying to do at the beginning of this process is to understand who they are and what their music is trying to say. So that's spending a lot of time with them, in pre-production, but also, going out for coffee and hanging out and, obviously listening to their music as well, and really trying to understand what their music is trying to say, what they're trying to touch in their listeners. We want to resonate as listeners with that performance and with those lyrics and with that message. And that's what you want too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so just even talking about it and bringing it up about, what is this about, I think is so important to help just remember why we're here. We continue that process through pre-production as I'm sort of learning their songs, learning more about them. And then in pre-production, I move on from understanding to trying to strengthen their songs. So are they getting across what they're trying to say, the message that they're trying to say, the emotion that they're trying to convey? And we're creating arrangements that really enhance the song.
Another thing that I think you do well is translate artist speak with what actually needs to get done over here. Because a lot of us don't understand the technical aspect of engineering and recording. It's frustrating as an artist sometimes because we don't have the language to ask for what we're hearing in our head. And so meeting us there is something you do really well.
It can be very easy in the studio to get too focused on sort of the technicalities. And I mean by that both thinking about, how you're playing or how you're singing. And also there's a lot of equipment around, right? So it's very easy to think, oh, I need to turn this up, or am I adjusting the mic right? And or am I singing the right way into the mic? It's very easy to get self-conscious. My goal when I'm working with a musician, when I'm working with an artist, is to help you forget all of that and just focus on the emotion of what you're trying to sing, bringing that forward, and keeping us all focused on the song and all focused on the music that we're making together.
Everything changes. Everything changes.
And you have great communication skills when an artist is in that kind of vulnerable position, to suggest and guide and tweak in a way that is easy to receive and keeps the mood positive and in a really productive, creative space.
And so we are capturing beautiful, powerful performances in the studio. With this trusting relationship that we've built from, all the time that we spent together, all the work that we've done.
I think that's important when you're an engineer or a producer or anything. You want to be able to understand where the artist is going. Absolutely. And what the artist wants and desires from the project.
Yeah.
And that's what you brought.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's what I try to bring to every project, and it's really important to me.
Yes. So. And it's all about love.
Yeah.
And like I said, you could tell how much love and time that you put into this, and I couldn't be more happy. I couldn't be more happy with the work.
I think artists come to me because I'm a one-stop shop. I've had decades of experience in the studio and on the technical side of capturing music. I've also got decades of experience on stage and performing with bands, performing with orchestras. So whatever you might need as an artist, I can provide.
And it's easy to trust your intentions and motivations because I do feel that you care. Like it matters to you, not just that we make something great, but that I feel like we made something great. And not every producer feels that. Not every producer approaches it that way. You know, I mean, like we're making something together, and I know that I suspect that the way you approach it is ultimately the artist needs to have that artistic, creative impulse satisfied.
For everyone I work with, you're bringing me the most important thing in your life, right? Whether you're a professional musician, whether you're a hobbyist, whatever you're doing, it's not like you're bringing me your taxes. You know, like this is either the thing that you're doing or the thing that you're the most passionate about.
Right.
So I feel like I owe it to you to make sure that I understand what you're looking for and that we get there. You know, that I take you there and create something really, really special, really great.
Yeah.
Every full-length record and EP I have done, except maybe one that I recorded in Texas. You've been on pretty much everything I've ever done, and I have never felt more comfortable in the studio with anyone than I feel with you.
You know, I've got dozens of records under my belt. I've worked with dozens of committed and passionate artists that have come back to me over and over to work with them. And I think that says a lot, that they're willing to trust me enough that they've come back to me over and over.
Did you know that I refer to you as my secret weapon? I do.
Not know that.
I do. That's what I call you when you're not around.
I love that.
And I tell everyone, although I actually try not to tell too many people because I need you to be available for me.
It's not secret.
But no, I mean, and I mean, the secret's getting out. You know, I mean, a lot of songwriters from Austin have been calling you, and I know you've been working with more and more folks that I know and admire on the singer-songwriter scene. And whenever that happens, I'm like super happy for them. I'm happy for you. I know I've never heard of anyone having a bad experience with you.
You know, people forget that making records is about a record of an event of music being made, and you want to be able to look back on that record and that time, and look back on it fondly. And every record we've made together, I look back and I remember the guys we worked with, and you know, being here and like the takeout food we got, and the paths we went down and worked and didn't work. I think a big part of making the record is when you hear those songs and you think about that time, it should be an important, cherished event. And it's always been like that with you.